Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over how crafting works in Everquest Next Landmark, the different types of crafting tables, the tools you need, how you get them, and what you can make. This is just over 2 weeks in the alpha, which I should mention is sort of a caveat. 2 weeks in the alpha, I'm sure things are going to change, and in fact they have mentioned that we are not going to get crafting recipes automatically, that you're going to have to earn them or find them. So when you spawn in, if you've just gotten started, you'll usually be somewhere pretty near the crystal for that island. If you go up to it, there's going to be a stone forge, and the nice thing about this one is you always know it's going to be there. You're not dependent on trying to find, someone's claim that has one. The stone forge will always be there, even if it's a brand new server or a brand new island. So you can make, with this, you can make some basic picks, basic axes. You can make a grappling hook, and I would recommend making a grappling hook like right away, because chances are you're going to find yourself, stuck in a hole in someone's claim, etc. And it's very useful to get out. So I would make one of those as soon as you can. And the mats are pretty basic. It just takes tin and copper. You're not going to be able to make the more advanced things here. You'll need to find a more advanced forge for that, either on someone else's claim or you can build your own. Okay, there's different tiers to each tool. So there's four different types of crafting stations. You have the forge, which is your basic, it's how you make your axes and your picks and other crafting stations. Then you have your saw tables, which works with wood, and also makes a couple of other crafting stations. And then you have your workbench, which you can kind of think of like jewel crafting. Works with gems and things, and makes kind of, I was thinking of luxury items like pillows and mugs and things like that. You do that at the workbench. Okay, and then the fourth thing I wouldn't really consider it a crafting station, but it's put in that category, which is the sifter. The sifter works entirely differently, where you give it masses of stone and dirt and sand, and it'll use those up but give you back a few gems, and sometimes you can get lucky and get gemstones that are actually kind of worth something. So anyway, for those three categories, the forge, saw table, and the workbench, there's different tiers. So with the forge, it starts from stone, and that's the one that's available right next to the crystal that you spawn in next to. And it goes up through marble, amaranthine, and alabaster. Alabaster at this point in the game is not in the game yet, but it's listed, but you can't actually make it. The saw table, you start with copper, then it goes through tungsten and cobalt. And then the workbench, you can first make tin, then gold, then rubicite. And then the sifter starts with rough work, and then tradesmen's. So, as you can probably imagine, with each tier you get access to fancier items. When you start with, say, your stone forge, you're going to have pretty basic stuff. You're going to have, I think you can make the copper and bronze picks, but you're not going to be able to make an indigo pick. So that's sort of your incentive in order, to go ahead and kind of do the progression, make your new picks, to make the new crafting stations, to, etc. And as a note, there's no particular incentive. There's no gameplay or progression incentive to use your own forge. You can absolutely stop at someone else's place if they have the forge you need. You can absolutely use someone else's. Main reason to have your own is just to have better access to it on your claim. props are things that you can add on your claim that you can, things like tables, chairs, barrels, lights, things like that. So wood-based kind of props like your tables and chairs, you're able to make those at the saw table. So you see those here, and it tells you, if you click on something, it'll tell you exactly what you need to buy, need to make them. So this requires 5 iron ingots and 5 plain wood planks. So in order to make 5 plain wood planks, you come down here to wood, make your 5 plain wood planks, and if you check your loot tab, you can see you just got 5 plain wood planks. And then you can also, and I think we needed, check back here. Okay, so if I want to make a wooden chair, I need 10 plain wood planks, which I happen to have, and 5 copper ingots. But if I didn't have those copper ingots, you'd come over here to the forge and make 5 copper ingots. And with each level of forge, not only do you get access to be able to create better tools and better crafting stations, you can also make ingots out of higher tiered metals. So then I can come back over here, under props, wooden chair, and now I can make my wooden chair. And as you can see, it showed up in my inventory right there. So that's how crafting works. And with the saw table, you can make 2 different types of crafting stations. You can make the workbench, which I have behind me, and you can make a sifter, which I just don't happen to have. So the workbench is going to be, it tends to have stuff that's more related to, kind of think of it like jewel crafting. Tends to have, like you can make various accessories, and things that have stats and can help you in gathering and such. But you can also make props. So you can make pillows, you can make lights, and they have a couple just sort of fun little accessories to kind of decorate your claim, like the obsidian obelisk, very cool looking, this mug, etc. You get the idea. You can also make worked stone, which you need for some of the, I think you need worked amaranthine in order to get the forge, I believe. Now, props are pretty cool. They're one of the easiest ways to decorate your claim, and probably even more significantly, it's how you get lighting, because otherwise your claim can get pretty dark at night. You can see here I've made an iron chandelier, and then I've got the hanging wall sconce and the hanging sconce. I've also got the little fire logs. I forgot what they're called. That andiron and firewood. I've also made a pitcher. You can see there. And I've made doors. Now, unfortunately, due to a bug that's affecting my claim right now, I can't show you what it looks like when you're placing these. But basically, they're just objects that you can rotate and place in, in whatever scale you need. One of the interesting features of crafting in this game is that when you craft certain tools, you have the chance to get better quality items or even lower quality items, just sort of on a random basis. You can get like the basic. You can get like green. A little better quality would be blue, all the way up to legendary. And of course, these items are going to have better stats. Like a mining pick will dig a bigger hole or strike faster. And it's just a random roll when you make the item. So as you can see here, I have the mats to make 4 copper picks. So I'm going to go ahead and make all 4, and hopefully we get some different items. And it looks like we got all green, but we may have at least gotten... Okay, so on one of these, at least, I got the fast copper pick. As you can see, this one has a speed of 70.13 versus the normal, just sort of your vanilla copper pick, has a speed of 57.75. So the bonus can actually be pretty significant, and it's definitely noticeable when you use them. So it may or may not be worth it, especially if you kind of have reached the, you're looking for stuff to do. You've got your the highest level pick. It may be worth it to go ahead and craft more just to try to get a legendary, or at least like a fast one, and so on. I know on tiers where I got stuck with using like a slow pick, it can be pretty frustrating. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. Alright, so that's an overview of how crafting works in Everquest Next Landmark, and hope it was helpful, especially to people who are just kind of getting started in alpha or later on down the road. So if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel.